check this out and see if it starts. We got 12 people waiting. It's a record low. Has it started? Awesome. Okay, we're officially started.
Yay.
What's going on? It's another episode of that show that for some reason y'all decide to watch Thursday nights typically. I'm your host again. It's me, Ryley, the one who sucks. And joining me is a regular co-host, Jess, the OmniDog, Bragg.
Hit him with the hind. What's up, dudes?
And with us today is also Mr. Gabe Infinity Watch himself.
What's up, everybody? How's it going? Happy to be here. It's always an honor. And I hope Lewis's diarrhea clears up very fast.
Wow, that only took 30 seconds to bring the show to talk about poop. And it wasn't even Ryley.
I know. I didn't even make the poop joke.
So tonight's topic, it involves liquid crack.
There's no real topic. I'm just running off of a few consistent themes that happen throughout the episodes. Number one, the fact that I suck. And if you read the description of the video, I don't remember anything about any of the books that I've read, apparently. Also, just realize that this episode won't be about fucking that thing I've never read, Prince of Tennis. Won't be about Prince of Tennis.
Man, this thing has its teeth into you like a steel trap. You got to shake it off, dude.
I got to make it very clear. I've never read Prince of Tennis. Therefore, I should not be attempted ridicule when I say that I don't know anything, or I don't remember, or I've never seen something from a comic that I never read.
Is that a comic about Andre Agassi?
That would be pretty dope.
I met him. He's a cool guy. He lives out here in Vegas, and he used to come to I used to do room service out here, and one of the movie theaters out here would have me do room service for like their VIP skyboxes.
In a movie theater?
Yeah, in a movie theater out here.
Wow.
What kind of movie?
He gave me a $100 handshake.
Oh, wow, nice.
Oh, he gave you a $100 handshake?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought that was secret lingo for something in a strip joint.
Oh, like gave me a handsy or something?
Yeah.
That would have been
Whatever.
a whole nother story.
He's gonna be just grabbing me around like a tennis racket. I don't know about that.
Okay, so Ryley sucks. Gabe met Andre Agassi, and I'm gonna do bombs for the first time.
Okay, so I should probably explain this.
Yes.
So I was talking yesterday with the guys in our little chat room and just explaining how like my boss yesterday, he was out for the day, but he popped in just to make sure everyone was doing well. And he brought everyone coffee, and he knows that I don't drink coffee. So he brought my favorite flavor of Monster, which is this Pipeline Punch. I think that, yeah, Pipeline Punch. And I know it's absolutely horrible, but like I've become addicted to Monsters because they give me just enough pep to stay awake after lunch until the end of my my work day. So I was mentioning that, and then we were talking about how shitty energy drinks are for you, and I was like, oh, well, my work does this thing called Do Bombs, where in order to get us all pumped on days that are super busy and like everyone's just not feeling it and just asleep basically because no one sleeps anymore, we do a combination of Mountain Dew, and I got a nice classic bottle.
Ooh, throwback.
Yeah. Mountain Dew. And then typically the second ingredient is either the Monster or the Red Bull. But one of my managers taught me to go all the way, and we use the holy trifecta. So with that, Jess was adamant that we do it ourselves. And so
I got a picture of it right here.
Oh, Jesus. I'm going to have a glass And even then, when we drink it, it's like a shot
You're supposed
basically.
to do shots? Okay.
Like you drink like maybe a small glass. So
Okay. I got a small glass.
I got a Jack Daniel's rocks glass.
I think that's perfect.
Okay.
So we have I haven't had them at work in a while just because my branch has been kicking ass without them. So there's no point. We get tacos instead.
Nice.
Which are great. But I still have my, after lunch pick me up every once in a while. So yeah, we're going to sip on some of these, and then we've really got no topic tonight. Just kind of shooting the shit. If there's any important news and whatnot, or important, solicitations, we can just jump on those and talk about them for a bit. But
Sure.
honestly, it's probably just going to be the three of us catching up and laughing about stuff.
Awesome.
I'm down for that. That sounds like the shit.
And vomiting up dew bombs.
Hopefully not.
You can always play back this video later and pinpoint the moment we all get diabetes together.
When we all start zinging.
It's like that scene in The Simpsons where like you can pinpoint the moment where his heart breaks.
Right. Look here, Lise. You can see where his heart breaks.
I thought you were talking about the part where Milhouse and Bart gets the squishy that's nothing but syrup.
Oh, right. And
He starts screaming out,
he
they
starts
start
seeing it. He sees several Millhouses instead of just one. They line up like a slot machine. Bart, Bart, Bart. Give me that. Okay.
Oh, man. There's a suggestion to drop sweet tarts in here. That would be pretty dope, honestly.
So we're supposed to chug these like shots or sip them?
Well, we've each got too much I've got too much to chug. Jess definitely has too much to chug. Oh, well, that's a good amount to chug.
I poured a small shot. It smells like cough syrup.
Getting on that lean.
Oh, man.
I like this comment, the pinpoint the moment you regret every life decision up to now, because I specifically was saying in our chat room, like, my life is the opposite of those, like, no regrets tattoos. My life is just complete regret.
It's all right, Riley. You're still young. You got plenty more years to regret shit, too.
That's the one where it's no ragrets across his chest.
No regrets. Mine is all of the regrets. I regret
Gabe
forgetting
was all the Rugrats.
in the comics that I read.
Yeah, so I got, regular Mountain Dew. I got regular Monster. Got the regular Monster here.
Yeah, I got regular Monster and Mountain Dew.
I can't deal with too much sugar, so I got the sugar-free Red Bull.
Ooh.
And I could just look at the color of this already. I think I'm going to brush my teeth afterwards because you guys know how much I care about my dental health.
Right.
Oh, yeah, of course. Now,
And
Jess,
then I got a beer because I think this will probably be the healthiest thing I'm going to end up drinking tonight.
Jess, why is yours so red?
The Red Bull was cranberry flavored.
Oh.
That was the only one that was at 7-Eleven that I could find, besides diet ones.
Out my back of my teeth already. Fuck.
I've never had Red Bull or Monster energy drink. I've only had Mountain Dew before. So let's see what it tastes like.
All right, guys. Are you all ready to
Yeah.
these bombs?
Dew bombs
All right, cheers.
for life.
Over lips, through the gums. Watch out, kidneys. Here it comes.
Well, that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Whew.
Right on, man. I could feel the film in my mouth already.
I just had it went like I can hear buzzing in my ears. But I also downed like my entire glass, so I might have gone a little overboard.
Oh, I'm feeling it. I like it.
That's how you get a shock to your system. Wake up
Yeah, I can see having this in the morning.
on a Friday morning after already having worked 40 hours and only sleeping like 5 hours a night. That's the stuff.
That's how you youngsters do it, huh?
That's how we do it. And then you got to rub some on your teeth.
Numb the gums.
I got to take it off of a key.
Sherlock is asking if I've read Prince of Tennis yet. All right, so now we've got the show on the road. I guess the first usual thing we can do, since we just did a very unusual thing, is talk about what books we might have received or bought or whatever this week.
Okay. Was that a question?
Jess, I know you've read a couple of interesting things.
Well, yeah. Let's see. Where's my read pile? Okay, yeah. I read the first thing that I picked up that I read was, let me get it back to the Hangout. I read Batman Deluxe Edition by Azzarello and Risso.
I got that too.
Hey, right on, man. Yeah, I got this because you suggested it, and it has in it, in deluxe form, story Scars, Broken City, parts 1 through 6, which was brutal. I loved Batman just being really brutal and head bashing. Then it has my favorite Batman story ever from Flashpoint, Night of Vengeance. And then it has in very teeny tiny type Batman Wednesday comics. I'll show you how small it is. This is how those Wednesday comics are, like this big, and this is all shrunk down onto a page. You can still I'm shoving it in your face here, and you can still barely read it.
It's really funny because usually it's like oversized. You're like, awesome, now it's bigger artwork. I can see everything. This one's like it's not big enough.
Yeah, it's like undersized.
But you've got a copy of Wednesday Comics, right?
I do, yeah. So I don't know why they would put it in here undersized like this. I mean, it was really a chore to read. It's a great story, but it's really a chore to read.
Just for completion's sake, I guess. Since
I guess so. Yeah, but Batman Deluxe was great. I loved it. I reviewed it for my channel, and I raved about it. Totally dug it.
And you didn't pour root beer on it, right?
I did not. This book I love. So this book stays in pristine condition.
And I still have not fallen short on any recommendation, it seems.
You are still batting 1,000. You're like 10 for 10. You haven't recommended a bum one yet.
Speaking of my recommendations, did you read the one I recommended a couple weeks ago?
The one I haven't finished it yet. Is that the Electro one?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of it. I was pumping myself full of Brubaker this past couple days because I thought we were going to talk about Brubaker stuff. So I will go back to Electra tonight once the broadcast is over, and I like it so far. It's great. I think it's really inventive, so I'm digging it so far. Here's a book I wanted to pour root beer over, but it would require 10 gallons of root beer. I had to. I did a rant on my channel about the Batman Neil Adams omnibus, and I would love to pour root beer over this third of the book right here, because that's where Batman Odyssey, quite simply one of the worst stories ever written, inhabits the book. It's hideous. It's awful. And I found out for real, I was talking to Sherlock about this, that book has a really weird left turn in it where there's all these wacky inhabitants of a hollowed out Earth. Like, we're living apparently on a hollowed out planet, and Neil Adams apparently actually believes this, that the Earth is hollow, and there are creatures living in there underneath us. And that's why he worked that scene in. It makes no sense thematically whatsoever, but he takes Batman underground, where I think Man-Bat and the underground version of Batman and Robin live, and dinosaurs with wings or some crazy crap, but it's because he thinks the Earth is hollow. And I that's a real thing. You can go to his website and he is upfront about it and says, yeah, the Earth is hollow. You're in for a wild ride, and it everything makes sense now. He writes wacky stories because he's whacked out of his skull, apparently. So
What's worse, Neil Adams thinking the Earth is hollow, or people thinking the Earth is flat?
I think flat earthers takes first place for me.
I'll ask him about his hollow Earth theory when he comes to the store next week.
Yeah, he's having a big signing there, right?
Yeah, we also got out of nowhere, not out of nowhere, but I just found out we're getting Jim Steranko the same weekend.
Ooh,
Nice.
that sounds cool.
So it'll be Steranko and Neil Adams at the store.
That sounds cool. Well, yeah, go to his website and see what he says about it, because he's upfront about it, and admits that it's kind of a different theory. Then another book, and then you can have a chat with him about it. Another book I read was JLA Year One Deluxe by Mark Waid. It's a good superhero book. I enjoyed it a lot. It's because mainly I think it's very interesting the characters they chose to start it. Aquaman, Black Canary, and Martian Manhunter. You don't really hear that much about them. You hear a lot about Flash and GL, but I like that those sort of tertiary characters became main characters. And I like that, of course, the Black Canary doesn't put up with anybody's bullshit. So that's always cool. Then I read, one thing I finished was Incognito by Brubaker. This book rocked utterly. I loved it. And I reviewed that for my channel. And I also finished the first chunk of Hellboy library editions before BPRD and my readathon. So that's what I read the past 2 weeks that I've been gone. And then I read a bunch of other Brubaker stuff. Oh, wait, I feel low energy. Let me have a shot of a dew bomb.
That stuff gave me a headache right now.
Woo! Mountain Dew! So yeah, that's what I've been reading, plus a ton of Brubaker. So I should be a pretty good authority by the time we actually do the Brubaker episode in December. I will have read everything that he's done.
In December.
When we actually get to that episode.
And then maybe you'll finish reading Gotham Academy. Or Gotham Central.
Yeah. That's a great book, but boy, is that a thick one. Holy mamacita.
You'll be the most prepared person for anything ever, and I'm still going to be sitting there like, I don't remember.
You have an awesome memory. That's what's so funny about it, is that you don't even have to have books in front of you. Both you and Luis don't even have to have books in front of you where you can just vamp and go on the characters. I got to have the book in front of me to talk about stuff, but you guys have actually good memories, except for when it comes to My Hero Tennis Academia or whatever the book is.
Yeah, because Jess doesn't know anything about
I
fucking
don't.
manga. He just makes stuff up.
And Ryley was all up my nose about it, that I didn't know anything about manga. It was like I said something about your mom when I said I didn't read any manga. You were not pleased.
Well, apparently I got the same reaction for saying I don't know anything about Prince of Tennis, so...
That's going to be the first manga I get. I'll get that and read it.
Just so you can hold it above me.
Right. Ryley doesn't know this. I do. Nah, 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 nah.
No, because Jess will buy it and then forgot he bought it and then buy it again.
and then he'll get a message from someone in stock trade saying, "Did you mean to do this?"
That was so funny.
Want Mr. Bragg?
That was so funny. That was classic me. I just had to share that how great In Stock Trades is, that I ordered accidentally too, because I like to order. I mean, I have a huge wish list that I update, like you guys probably do, with everything that's going to be coming up in the future as far as they go in the future, I like to put them on my wish list, and then I like to take them off my wish list by ordering. But sometimes I double book, so to speak, and I go on the main page, and then I go, oh, I got to order it for my wish list, and this was one of those times where I accidentally ordered 2 and didn't catch it, which is a fascinating story, I know. One of my better ones.
Best I've heard all week.
Thank you.
They should make a movie.
I think they did. Yeah, I think they did. It's called Jess versus IST.
More like IST saves Jess.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think I'm going to have another shot, man. Woo! Let's go.
You just get a straw and insert to nose.
Yeah, just suck it right up.
Did you also buy anything this week? Did you happen to receive anything?
I did. The first thing I received, well, not the first thing, but the big news was that Titus Kiramana got me Acts of Vengeance for cover price.
Nice.
Or close to cover price. I see now that it actually wasn't quite cover price, but that's okay. It's better than the $300 you'd pay on eBay.
Wait, that thing's going for $300? Fuck.
Maybe 200. Maybe I'm thinking 200. I don't think 300. Maybe you see Acts of Vengeance and then crossovers go for like 250, I think, and you're really paying 200 for Acts of Vengeance, I think.
Okay, I think I might have a bead on one of those somewhere. I didn't know they were going for that much.
Yeah. Have you read this, Ryley?
I don't remember.
Uh-huh.
No, I haven't. I have a bunch of books that have the some of the crossovers. Like I know that there's a few issues in the Avengers by John Byrne, but I don't have that nor the crossovers volume.
Okay. Well, I saw that it had a lot of Avengers and Spider-Man and stuff in it, so I thought that it might be something that I'd like. So, because there are rare books that I don't care about, that I won't go after, because I know I'm not going to read them.
It's a 90s event, isn't it, Gabe?
Hell yeah, it is.
That's forte right there.
Makes it awesome.
Right in your wheelhouse.
Immediately awesome.
I also got Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, and I'm actually really looking forward to this. I believe this is also 90s goodness, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about goodness, but it's 90s.
Yeah, I didn't get that one for myself.
Mm-hmm.
I've never read anything Doctor Strange, so I totally passed on that. That was a hard pass for me.
Oh, okay. I totally love Doctor Strange, so, but I get it.
I think it's on super discount at IST. I think it's like less than $60 right now.
Yeah,
wasn't it like 62% off or something weird?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got the DCBS variant of Tokyo Ghost, which I like because I met the fabulous Sean Murphy, who was a nice guy. Gave me a nice sketch in one of my books.
Makes some good art too.
Yeah.
So Doctor Strange is $50 on in-stock trades right now, which is 60% off.
Because it's a $125 book, I believe.
Yeah. And if you have that extra 2%, it's definitely going to be a little bit cheaper than that. So
62%. Yeah, it is $125. Yeah, so 62% is a darn good deal, I think.
So 40. Wow, I have an extra 3% discount. I have it for $46.25. For some reason, I got an extra 3% discount on IST.
There's a frequent or a loyalty discount going on for the next couple days.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna blow a huge wad.
Yeah, but are you gonna buy any books?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about that. I saw one of the questions, one of the first questions was, had I bought Monstrous volumes 1 and 2 yet? And I did put that order in this week, so I should be getting it tomorrow. I ordered it Tuesday. I should be getting it tomorrow. Monstrous volumes 1 and 2. I'm actually really excited to read that. That's gotten a lot of hype train about it, especially from people that watch this show. Golden Age of Wonder Woman Volume 2. Some nice bondage going on right on the cover. So I'm always up for some Golden Age bondage.
Talk about blowing your wad.
Yeah.
We're bonding right here.
And I still haven't unwrapped this Wonder Woman by Greg Rucka Volume 2. And what is that, Wayward? No, Department H Volume 2.
Jess doesn't even know what he ordered, and he doesn't get any shit. I'm the only one that gets shit.
I know what I ordered. I'm showing it to you. Let's see. This book's a little controversial. I don't know why. It's by Charles Soule, Inhumans versus X-Men. I like both those groups, and I like Charles Soule. So it's actually pretty expensive for how thin it is.
Yeah, it's a $50 book.
Yeah.
It's like 6 issues.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, yeah.
I decided to not buy it just yet. Hopefully, in the near future, it winds up going for less.
Yeah. And then I got Wayward Volume 2. Did you are you going to go into that Half Price Books that's somewhere in the state of Texas this weekend and use your 50% off coupon on that book?
I'm glad you reminded me. I might have to try and hit that up this week.
I think Sunday is the day the 50% coupon is ready to go.
Well, I'm off, so I could totally do that.
Yeah. I think Sunday's the day. Saturday's 40%, Sunday's 50%. So yeah, if that book's still there that we saw back in April, it's now July. I don't want to have to say I told you so, but if it's gone, I will say I told you so. That you should have bought it then.
That's okay.
You lie. You're dying inside. Except you forgot all about it.
I'll be okay.
That's it from the OmniDog point of view. Bought and read.
Now,
Gabe, what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, I haven't read shit in like a month. It's been pretty busy over here.
You read a bunch of shit?
Yeah, lots of shit. Yeah. But I'm looking at IST right now, and I might have to go buy that Legion Omnibus.
Oh, it's so good.
It's with my discount, it's $35.
I love that book.
I might have to pick that up because $35 is
it's some good shit, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking cheap.
Now, how did you get? Are they having a loyalty thing starting now?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because I've been buying something every week and it's just the loyalty discount. Usually it's 2%. I don't know if it's kicked up because I bought stuff the last 3 weeks in a row.
I think everyone has. I'm going to check my email because I saw someone post about it earlier.
I'm going to do that too right now.
But I mean, I haven't read anything, but I sure did buy a lot of shit. So I'll show you guys what I've gotten recently.
Yep. There's an email about loyalty discount.
Yeah, I got it too. 2-day loyalty discount.
Oh, I need to fucking hurry up then. Shit.
I don't think it starts till tomorrow.
Well, then I don't have to hurry up too much then.
Friday and Saturday.
But maybe it's already Friday.
In Australia, it is.
We've been traveling through time by drinking our dew bombs.
That's very heavy.
Speaking of dew bombs, dew bombs.
Oh.
How much have you drank already, Jess?
About half of it.
Damn, dude. You're going to need to get another tooth pulled. Out, man, please. I can't drink any more of that, man. That shit made my head hurt.
It's making my heart race, I'll tell you that.
Oh, man.
I'm going to be up till 3 in the morning. I'll keep this chat going.
Omnibros after hours.
That's right. People on the West Coast, I'll be up.
Omnibombs.
So let's see. What I got recently is yesterday I got in a big old box from In Stock Trades that has volume 1 of Jeff Johns' Green Lantern run.
Mm-hmm.
And with Volume 1, I also had to get Volume 2.
Mm-hmm.
But it's actually loyalty. I should have waited and bought it this week, but I didn't know.
You could have gotten an extra $1 off.
I know. That would have helped pay for that $1.50 FedEx shipping that took an extra week to get to me. Fuck. And then, of course, Volume 3. So I got all 3 volumes of the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run, which is, I don't need to say it, but it's it's a masterpiece of modern comics for sure. It's definitely is essential to anybody's library, I believe. And my favorite part, I posted it on the group earlier, is my Volume 1 and Volume 2 are the new prints.
Oh, yeah.
They got the different logo down here. And the third print has got the third, Volume 3 has got the regular print or the regular logo. And it just drives everybody up a wall with their OCD mentality of that the logos don't match and it freaks everybody out.
Non-matching spine disorder.
I just looked at mine, and mine are good.
Yeah, I'll have to look at mine real quick.
Mine are all the OG.
Yeah, mine are all OG also.
From my understanding, I thought the Volume 1, like the binding was kind of rough and fell apart or was glued or something bad, but the second print was updated with better binding. So I'm glad I kind of waited for it.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people with issues on the first print. I haven't had any myself. I've been fortunate though.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues with it either.
Good. I wanted to avoid it if I could. Plus, I mean, there's nothing I could do about it anyways. Those old prints are sold out, and these are new printings, so I'm good with that. One of the things I'm most happiest about that I picked up was the final Smorgasbord edition for the Smorgasbord Volume 3. This is the regular edition, and apparently the signed edition, like somebody on the board got one and had like an awesome like Poyo sketch in it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I knew it was also sketched, I would have picked up the limited edition one.
He's a nice guy. I met him at AwesomeCon, John Layman.
I met Layman and I met Rob Guillory. I got a sketch from Rob Guillory.
Mm-hmm.
He did a MODOK sketch for me, which is pretty fucking cool. And I loved Chew. It's one of my favorite comics of all time. And I actually own the page original art from like issue 2 or 3, I believe. So I love this book. I love it. I'm so happy that I can now have the entire run in like a prestige format, archived edition kind of thing. So
prestige format. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, it's bitching. And then I think one of the most highly anticipated omnibus of the year finally came out, which is the Hickman Avengers omnibus. I don't think there's another omnibus that's coming out this year that has as much like preemptive hype behind it than Hickman's Avengers omnibus here. Yeah, it's a beautiful story. I mean, it's Hickman, so he's had like the story planned out for years. It's already kind of completely mapped out. And as a Fantastic Four fan, this is the story that basically continues Hickman's Fantastic Four run that involves the universe, the Avengers, and eventually leads up to Secret Wars and Marvel taking the Fantastic Four off the shelf and hiding them or whatever they're doing with them right now. That's really stupid. So, and a kind of a different thing I got a Lazy Susan. And the reason I got a Lazy Susan is because on the boards, people wanted more, like, people to do more spotlights on new omnibus and stuff. So what I decided to do is I got this Lazy Susan, and in my video, I could turn it around.
Well, goddamn.
I could do a whole 360 on it.
Very nice.
I'm trying to be clever and do something different.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just going to retire. I can't get that good.
Yeah.
So, well, you'll be living off the royalties of all the ideas I stole from you, Ryley.
Oh, my M&M ideas?
Well, I was thinking more of your Omnibus of the Week ideas, how you highlighted those. But, yeah, your M&M ideas, I should steal those, too. You were on a roll with them.
Got a lot of good ideas for candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think since so many people, mention a need for more, or that there's been like a gap and a kind of a missing area of highlighting new omnibus, I think I'm gonna start doing that a little bit more as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do that Hickman run. That's that Hickman omnibus. I was gonna do that before the show, but I kind of lost track of time. I have the Invader Zim hardcover coming in from IST, and then next week I'm 100%. I'm gonna order that new Kirby Fantastic Four artist edition.
You're pumped for that, huh?
Well, I'm so pumped. I've been saving up for that and everything because that's like $130, I think.
The IST price is going to be $130.
That's that.
Or do
that's
they not
retail?
give a discount?
No, that's retail, and IST doesn't. The last Fantastic Four artist edition that I bought from In Stock Trades had no discount on it.
I think I remember that.
So I'm shooting for maybe a 2% discount if I keep buying stuff every week.
Yeah.
But that's what I got. I'm pumped to start reading this stuff, especially that Hickman Avengers, and then of course I want to get into the Green Lantern. I used to have all those issues in single issues, but I sold them, and I'm going to read them back again. So it's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's a rather nice run.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta say.
And after that run, it turns into shit once Brightest Day comes around, honestly. Which is unfortunate because the shitty movie came out and then Brightest Day came out, and I really kind of had a bad taste for Green Lantern for a while.
I really, really, really liked the way that it all ended at the end of the New 52. Just the way that he wrapped it all up.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely was not quite as good. Still, like, if you're a fan, I think it's still worth concluding. Okay, so
what'd you read and buy this week, Rye Bread?
I literally have a bunch of stuff sitting around me that y'all also bought. I think the only thing I have, let's see. So I have Tokyo Ghost, Avengers, Batman, Azzarello, and then I think you mentioned that you got Wonder Woman Volume 2 by Rucka. Mm-hmm. The only thing I don't remember either you mentioning is I also got Fool Killer.
I got that last week. Your recommendation. I bought it last week.
Yes. I bought it a little bit late. I put it in with a later order. And so, of course, Fool Killer is a... he's been an existing character in the Marvel Universe. He's had several different iterations. There was I think it was an 80s series by Steve Gerber that was pretty well received back in the day. But this iteration of the Fool Killer is the Greg Salinger version. And recently in the Marvel Universe, he teamed up with Deadpool during the Mercs with Money, or the Mercs for Money story arc. And basically Mercs for Money was like Deadpool's way of making a Heroes for Hire team without using a copyrighted name because Luke Cage threatened him. And the Mercs for Money are just a bunch of random characters who do things for Deadpool and get paid. And after part of that run had passed, a bunch of those characters left, and a few of them got their own miniseries, Fool Killer being one of them. And in the series, the volume is called Psychotherapy because he actually goes off to become a psychiatrist, and this book follows him during his career in psychiatry. So it's a really good little book that is kind of introspective on the character of Fool Killer himself, and kind of what he's thinking and what kind of makes him tick, and the changes that he's gone through, like who he is, and then deciding to turn to psychiatrist, and how he didn't actually really change too much from who he used to be, and stuff like that. And it's a really good, I think it's only 5 issues. It's written by Max Bemis, who I really love, who wrote the Worst X-Men Ever miniseries, which I just praised a whole bunch like last year, I think. And so this is his next Marvel miniseries that he did. You can get it on in-stock trades for under $10 right now for this trade paperback. I think closer to $8. I recommend it. Just toss it in with an order, check it out, read it. If you don't like it, then you only spent like $8. It's not that big of a deal. The other thing that I got this week that was something that y'all didn't get, and I have to get up because it's on the other side of the room, is I grabbed the Dragon Ball Bizbigs. Last week I showed off I got the Dragon Ball Z ones, and this week I grabbed the I received the Dragon Ball ones. So now I have all, 14 books that comprise the Dragon Ball series. And of course, real quick mention, I got the most recent volume of Berserk. I'm still reading through volume 30 right now. Just been a little busy with work, so I haven't been able to catch up. And I've also been watching a bunch of like random anime movies before going to bed and stuff. And trying to catch up on like the last month's worth of new reading. So that's not going that well for me though. I'm way behind.
Yeah, dude. June was a super dry ass month in books, and July is just killer, dude. I can't keep up with buying stuff.
I just like I read so many things that come out every week that if I don't stay on schedule with it and I fall behind, I wind up getting overwhelmed, and then I'm like, I just wind up getting like panicked, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna read. I can't read. There's too much to read. And then I get to the point where I'm like, fuck, now I've got like 100 issues that I need to read. This is bullshit. And so that's the point where I am right now. And I'm trying to break it down and read a little bit, but the problem is my reading time is usually my lunch hour. And I'll like eat lunch real quick and then read for the rest of the time and read maybe like 10 issues on my break. But I've been busy and I've been doing other stuff during my lunch break, so I haven't been able to even do that. So yeah, unfortunately.
Like there's so much stuff coming out. I passed on Why the Last Man for right now, and I passed on the newest Irredeemable just because there's just so much coming out. I wanted to save up for that Kirby Artist Edition. But there's just
I'll pretend I didn't hear that part about Irredeemable.
Dang.
Oh man, I'll get it. I'll get it. Have you read Irredeemable, Ryley, or is it just me and Jess that's read that?
I haven't gotten the chance to read it yet.
Or do you remember reading it?
I don't remember reading it. I don't remember not reading it. I was looking through a bunch of news and stuff for the week since we don't have a topic, and I figured I'd just mention some headlines that I've seen. Apparently, DC is going to do something for a Duke Thomas series.
That's fine. I think that most companies right now are going to be holding off their big announcements until San Diego, because San Diego's next week, right? Or like in 2 weeks. And that's when all the big announcements start busting out. But unfortunately, all the comic book announcements get kind of overlapped by the movie announcements and the trailers and stuff like that. Because that's how it works.
Oh, I just realized that they finally gave Duke his superhero name.
Is it Robin?
No, it's not. But it's in the casting, that one shot that came out. There's a new Suicide Squad character called Dr. Endless, who's based on, apparently, Neil Gaiman's Sandman. Looks more like it'd be based on Neil Gaiman's death. Except that they're wearing a rainbow coat similar to Shades.
Did you guys watch the Castlevania show on Netflix?
I watched a few minutes and I didn't pay enough attention to it. And I got busy with other stuff. And then I decided that I should probably watch it at a moment that I'd actually be able to pay attention. Otherwise, I won't remember anything.
It's excellent. It's written by Warren Ellis, and Warren Ellis is like one of the head producers on it. But it's 4 episodes, and each episode's like 20 minutes, maybe a little bit longer than 20 minutes each. So you can knock it out in like a little bit more than an hour.
Yeah, I was trying to watch. I was gonna watch like half of it on one lunch break and the other half on another. But then, like I said, I got really busy and I wasn't able to actually read anything or watch anything.
Right at the end of episode 4, it starts to get really interesting, and you kind of get hooked. And it just ends, and then that's it. And then, good thing is, though, Netflix, announced that they ordered 8 more episodes. So
and when will you be able to see those? In like 2 years?
Oh God!
So they got you hooked.
Been talking about this Castlevania series for like 10 years. I think he's been working on it.
Well, speaking of that, they also mentioned there was interest in a Metroid series, which is really huge for me. Mm-hmm. And then as well, in other Netflix series news, Umbrella Academy was greenlit from the Gerard Way comic, and I love that series. So I'm excited about that.
We'll get more Metroid video games out of it, or something. Now it's going to be more in the pop culture realm of things with the Netflix series.
Yeah, I'd like to see a lot to do with Metroid. I'd like to see new games. I'd like to see them publish some comics and shit. I don't even care. Just do anything with Metroid, because I love Metroid and I want more of it. But yeah, Umbrella Academy, though, I'm hoping that if that gains traction and popularity, that Gerard Way will finally do the 3rd Umbrella Academy series, because we've been waiting on that one for quite a few years now.
No,
also, you guys,
the sequel to Sea Guy is what I'm waiting for.
Well, now you're waiting for it.
Yeah, because that was one of the books you recommended that I get.
And another one that you liked. So another win for me.
Oh yeah, there's a ton in the win column for you. I don't think there's any losers.
I might not remember a lot, but I certainly remember what I enjoyed.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely have pulled nothing but winners for me.
I think I'm beating Matt Sibley by like 1 book.
That is exactly right.
He has 1 loss.
He does. Do you remember what it was?
Geez, I don't remember. It was an Image book, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And was it one by Rucka?
Gosh, I don't.
It wasn't the Rucka one. I think Vale. I think just discovered that on his own.
Yeah, Vale. That was a disappointing one. I discovered that on my own.
No! You didn't like Glitter Bomb.
Boom! There's your good memory right there, buddy.
Yeah, you didn't. I didn't recommend it personally, but I think it's a pretty decent series.
It just didn't do it for me. I was disappointed in it. It seemed too familiar. There was nothing new there for me. But yeah, that's the one loser in Matt's column.
Damn.
So you barely edge him out with nothing but winners.
That sucks, because I think he's recommended that to a lot of people, and most people have actually enjoyed it.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think I'm the outlier. I just didn't dig it.
Did y'all see the Earth 1 Green Lantern?
Oh, yeah, announcement? Yeah, I did.
Who's doing that? I didn't catch the creators.
Gabriel Hardman with his wife, Corinna Bechko.
Oh, they're a great team. I love Gabriel Hardman. He's got a cool name.
Yeah,
Hardman? He's Hardman.
Gabriel.
What's so good about that name?
Damn it, Jess.
I'm stepping all over it.
Yeah, I love his artwork as well, and anything I've read from them has been. I think they recently did Invisible Republic, is what they're doing at Image.
Oh, I like that book.
Yeah, it's a pretty good little book, and I didn't realize this, but apparently Hardman did the storyboard for Interstellar. So he's like,
Oh wow.
so I'll just read this. I'm reading the Bleeding Cool article. I don't really look at Bleeding Cool anymore unless I just want to know everything that's happened the past week because they report everything. Let's see. Announced via IGN today, wife and husband pair of writer Corinna Bechko and writer-artist Gabriel Hardman will team up with colorist Jordan Boyd to bring Green Lantern into the Earth One verse. The book will see how Jordan revamped as a scientist and astronaut who finds a power ring and sets off to restore the Green Lantern Corps, which were long ago extinguished by the Manhunters. And then a quote from Hardman, having storyboarded Interstellar, this is an approach I'm comfortable with and have wanted to explore in comics. Realistic sci-fi is only the beginning of this story. We have something much more epic in store. And it's set to hit shelves next March on the 20th.
Cool.
So
Gabriel Hardman has worked a lot with Christopher Nolan. He did the storyboards for Dark Knight Returns. No, not Dark Knight Returns, but Dark Knight.
Rises?
Dark Knight Rises, that's right. He did Interstellar. That's his bread and butter is doing storyboards. He does that so that he can take time off to do comics.
He also did artwork on 2 runs that I absolutely love. Number 1, Red Hulk, which I talk about maybe too much. And number 2, he did, I think, the first arc of Rick Remender's Secret Avengers.
Yeah. No, that's right. He's awesome, dude. He does great stuff. I got a bitch and beautiful Doctor Doom commission from him too.
There's I know that Aquaman Earth 1 was teased a while ago from Maniple, and I don't recall if anything ever was said about the Flash. Another thing I don't remember. But yeah, so that's that news. And then I saw something about the current Cable series is getting renumbered to 150, and he's getting reunited with the New Mutants, or a new group of New Mutants. The series is going to be written by Ed Brisson, and I guess artwork by John Mallon. Ed Brisson, really, for me, I was first impressed by a series he did at Image that was called shit. I don't remember what it was. It was like
you don't remember?
It was a pre-apocalyptic book, and it was about like kids whose parents were trying to prepare for the apocalypse. And Sheltered, that's what it's called. It's called Sheltered.
Oh yeah.
Trying to prepare for their parents are prepared for the apocalypse, so they have like these bunkers and they live in a little community. And then one day, one of the kids decides to like basically riot, and they like do a bunch of crazy shit. Is basically what goes down. It was a 15-issue series. It was really dope. I think it's collected across 3 paperbacks, and I wanted it to get a hardcover, but it hasn't. But he has since done other stuff. Right now, he's been doing a lot for Marvel, including he's doing the Iron Fist series, which has been pretty decent, and then he's also taken over writing Old Man Logan. So he's getting a lot of work over at Marvel. So that's pretty neat. And then speaking of Marvel, there's also the new Spirits of Vengeance series that got announced. So that's some very 90s-y stuff for Gabe.
Nice.
I hope it's the race car Ghost Rider.
It's not.
Racist.
It's apparently only a 5-issue miniseries. It's Spirits of Vengeance by Victor Gischler with David Baldeón. Victor Gischler, of course, wrote a bunch of random Deadpool stuff. He wrote some random shit with Marvel's Dracula, and then he also wrote the X-Men team-up series that was just adjectiveless X-Men. So he's done some different fun things, and this book stars Damon Hellstrom, Johnny Blaze, Satana, and Blade. They've got Hellstrom looking like a darker-haired John Constantine on the cover.
Does he still have the pentagram on his chest?
He's wearing like a suit with a tie.
Yeah. All right.
Well, a shirt and tie with a trench coat, so you can't. That's why he looks like fucking Constantine.
I'm not losing my sugar high. As a matter of fact, my heart's pumping so hard right now. I'm just quietly trying to calm myself down because it's about to pop out of my chest.
Oh, man.
And run across the room. So, yeah, I'm doing some Zen chanting in my head to calm my heart down.
Oh, my God. Just be careful, dude.
I know. I've stopped drinking it. I'm ready to. I'll be happy to drink it in the morning. That'll just jack me right up.
That's what it's meant for. It's a coffee replacement.
Yeah, not at 9:30 at night.
No way, man. I don't think I'll ever drink that stuff again in that combination. I'll stick to my iced Americanos at 5 o'clock in the morning on my way to work. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No, you need fake fruit taste with whatever the fuck Mountain Dew is, and fake vitamins that are concocted just to like get your heart going.
I just realized this fucking Mountain Dew is 77 grams of fucking sugar.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No wonder my heart's pounding. It's got caffeine and sugar and vitamin Q in it.
Jesus, my God. And 105 megagrams of sodium.
It's like a bucket of chicken.
Ugh. No wonder my body feels so achy and gross right now.
You didn't have that much, did you?
No, that like sugar messes with me really bad. I don't know if it's because diabetes runs in my family or what, but sugar just hits me hard.
Mm.
I'm gonna get a complaint letter from Gabe saying that I caused him to get diabetes.
I'm gonna die, and I got 2 kids, Ryley, and no health insurance or life insurance, so that's on you.
Just ship the kids to Ryley and Megan.
Oh my God.
You probably have plenty of bubble wrap for kids.
With all the shit I've been buying recently, I got enough bubble wrap to ship my whole house to Ryley.
Ship them with the in-stock trades like blocks, styrofoam
molding. Oh.
I remember one of my last jobs that I had, I looked into getting the company to buy one of those machines that makes those blocks because it would have made my job a lot simpler. Because really, like, the machine, like, inserts the foam in there and it, like, fills the box. And I was like, can I get this? They're like, no, it's like thousands of dollars.
That's the greatest thing IST ever did was use that foam molding.
Yeah.
I don't know what Amazon's doing, saving 25 cents by using those air pocket pieces of shit.
If you're lucky enough to get one.
Dude, I ordered that Lazy Susan off of Amazon and a couple Kindle Fires, and it had a shitload of those like air pockets and bubble wrap and stuff like that.
Really?
But every
For
time
a
I
Lazy
order,
Susan?
yeah, it's just full of bubble wrap and like air pockets. When I order a book, I get a highlighter that the guy leaves in the box. That's how it was with Diamond at comic book stores. I don't know how many times I've opened a box and it was like trash left in there. Somebody's like highlighter over there. They were using to, I guess, highlight the list that they left in a box, and a highlighter exploded from the heat and it just destroyed all the books in the box.
Oh, geez.
That's nice.
I didn't get a Lazy Susan. I got a flexible neck camera holder for my phone that I'll be doing overviews with. But that Lazy Susan's a good idea. I won't steal it. That's your idea.
I might steal it, but you don't have to worry because I'll never make videos again.
You don't remember the Lazy Susan idea later.
I think I have 2 Lazy Susans in the house, so I guess I could do it. I bought myself a, I'm not even using it right now, and I feel stupid. I bought myself a folding desk so I wouldn't have like a huge desk sitting in my library only to use when doing the show. So I bought one with like foldable legs and shit, but it's like behind my chair right now. I'm too lazy to get it.
So it's sitting on your lap as usual?
Yeah, it's on a pillow on my lap.
Uh-huh.
The sad thing about that sentence is that I just said I was too lazy to do that, but I'm like, I've been chugging energy drink, and I'm still I'm lazier than Susan.
Lazy Ryley.
I need to get a lethargic Ryley spinner. That's all this lazy Susan is just a giant fidget spinner.
Okay, what are those? What are you supposed to do with those?
You just spin them.
How is that a thing?
It's basically like a bearing, like a wheel bearing, and it has this thing around it, and you spin it, and the bearing is frictionless enough that it'll spin for a good amount of time, and it's supposed to be calming or something. I don't know.
Oh, really? It has a calming effect on you? You look at it spinning and it calms you down? Because I could use that right now.
Or like you just hold it and then like you keep spinning it, and it's just I mean, for people who fidget, you know, with their hands, but for some reason it turned into this huge thing, and like kids just have to have it, and you can buy them at like any store now. Like they're everywhere, like at the front of a store for like $5 or whatever. You just see them sitting there, and it's insane how just crazy everyone went for it. Something so simple and so cheap, and it's reminiscent of, you know, like, I guess previously you'll see things like what were those things?
Like snap bands and the hula hoop.
Yeah, exactly. Snap bands, silly bands or whatever were more recent. Or there was one, these little, I don't remember what, there we go again, I don't remember. But I don't remember what they were called.
Other popular things that just came out of nowhere, like bath salts.
They were little, but I'm thinking about these little things that were like you get at the counter, and I had them at GameStop when I worked there, and they were like little somethingkins. I don't know. Like my cousins would get them, and they'd be Shopkins. That's what it's called, Shopkins. They're like little bitty animals or little bitty ice creams or some shit like that. I don't even remember, but they were like these just insanely popular. Like everyone was buying them up, but they were just kind of dumb.
Yeah, but they're everywhere. I went to MegaCon. I flew out to Orlando, and at the convention there, it was fucking fidget spinners everywhere. Like every other booth had fidget spinners. The booth where me and Luis bought all of our like cheap Omnibus, the guy was mainly selling fidget spinners and just had the Omnibus there in the background.
He was a fidget spinner dealer?
Yeah, yeah. And then here in Vegas, at VegasCon, same thing. Like every convention I've been to, it's just, you know, whatever the convention's about, plus fidget spinners.
Jiminy crickets.
There was
they sell them for like $5. Like they're super cheap.
There was a fidget spinner tent on the corner of my street. Like I was driving home one day and I saw someone assembling a little tent that had a big flag that said fidget spinners, and then they just had a table and they were selling them just on the corner of the street, like it was a lemonade stand or something.
Next thing you know, it's gonna be like the Hispanics are gonna be selling oranges and fidget spinners on the off ramp. That will be me.
Chicles, fidget spinner.
Well, apparently, from what I heard, the guy that created fidget spinners created them like back in the 80s and never like copyrighted or patented the idea. And it just kind of disappeared. And now out of nowhere, it showed back up. And he's making like zero money off of this.
Oh, that's too bad. That blows.
I know they had those fidget cube thingies that had like there was a button and a little ball and all this different crap.
Yeah, I got one of those. I got off a Kickstarter.
Those things looked more appealing because there's like it makes clicky noises and you can like do different things with like that seems like something you could fidget a little easier with because the spinner is a little bit large. Like you have to hold it a certain way to like be able to keep spinning it as you're holding it, and it.
The fidget spinner is kind of like a one note kind of thing, where the cube you can do like 6 different activities with it.
Yeah.
But those fidget cubes are popular as shit too, and they're getting like people are stealing the ideas and just making knockoffs of them as well.
I saw that. Also, I think they're a little bit more expensive, if I recall, because they're multi-faceted. It's like the cubes are like a Retron system that plays like 5 different games, but the other thing, the spinner, is just a regular old NES.
Yeah, it's like the fidget cube is like like a Retron, where the fidget spinner is like an NES classic that just does one thing. I don't know. I want a Retron, though, like really bad. I want one of those things.
What are those?
Retrons are systems, like video game systems, that have different ports on them for different games. So you can, like the newest one, the Retron 5, can play, I think, basically almost anything. Like it can play Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Sega, like, and you can plug the cartridges in there and play it like that. And then there's like the thing that I got for my birthday, the Raspberry Pi is like a miniature computer where you can torrent games and put it on a hard drive and play it on there. So you don't have to have the actual game, like the cartridge. You just, like I was playing it with it earlier, and I was playing random stuff. Like there was a Mad Max game on the NES that I was playing. It wasn't as good as Fury Road.
Little is, now that I finally saw it.
Yeah. Well, what do y'all think that the next big thing, like the next fidget spinner, is going to be?
Oh, if I knew that, I'd be selling them on the streets right now.
I don't even know what a fidget spinner barely is, so I'm not a good candidate to take part in this one.
I think it's going to be dew bombs.
I think it's going to be reading the Crossed.
Reading Crossed? You waited a good long bit to work that in.
That's right.
Lots of little kids are going to read Crossed.
And they'll set up lemonade stands to sell Crossed.
Yeah, we'll have, $5 for the Crossed Volume 1. Free fidget spinner with purchase. Now, like, fidget spinners will be passé, and they can't even get rid of them.
It's going to be like Pogs.
Pog.
They should bring back Pogs.
Remember Alf? Alf's back in Pog form.
Pog form.
You know what they should do? They should do an Alf Omnibus with the Marvel Alf series. There was not a resounding yes. I'm kind of disappointing.
No. They're still trying to do like a Married with Children like omnibus.
Well, the thing with Alf, and I didn't realize this until just a few days ago, because Nathan Burkholz told me that there was a Evolutionary War crossover in Alf.
What?
Yeah. I haven't read it. I haven't read that issue, but I was told, and I think he showed us the cover, and it had like the stamp on it, and it was Alf meets the High Evolutionary.
Did the High Evolutionary turn Alf into the Wolverine?
I have no idea what happened.
That was supposed to be the original origin of Wolverine. Was just a Wolverine that the High Evolutionary just evolved into a person.
Is this legit?
Yeah.
Why didn't I know that?
You did, but you forgot.
Or I forgot that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Damn, this is getting deep and introspective, and I don't like it. Well, at least kids are not into pet rocks these days.
I was alive for that.
How
What about
many
the
pet rocks
resurgence
did
of
you
like
have?
I didn't have any. That was not something I did.
Jess
I
just
do
had
remember
crack
it.
rocks.
That's right. I chopped up my blow rocks.
Those
Or
are
what
his
was
true friends.
fuck, what's those things that you put in the fish tank? Damn it.
What thing?
There's a thing that you put in the fish tank, and they were like turn into like little creatures.
The
Sea monkey.
monkeys, sea monkeys.
Oh, sea monkeys.
When you said something with water, I also started thinking about those little sponge thingies where you drop the pill and the capsule opens up
Yep.
and it turns into like a big dinosaur sponge.
Or what about Shrinky Dinks?
Yeah, that too. You can like make little keychains and shit.
So do we have any comic book related questions?
No, because I didn't know anything last week about Prince of Tennis, I went ahead and got on In Stock Trades and I ordered the first 10 volumes of Slam Dunk. So I still won't be able to talk about Prince of Tennis. But I overcame I overcame adversity and did not order the entire 30-volume series in one go. I was like, I'm taking this one slow. I'll just do a third of it at a time.
I totally remember Richie Rich. I used to collect Richie Rich all the time. And Little Dot and Little Lotta and Hot Stuff. I remember Richie Rich.
Or the original Sugar and Spike.
Oh God, I love Sugar and Spike.
I had a conversation with Gio about why basketball's better
Than what?
than tennis.
Oh,
I used to actually be like really, really into basketball. There's a picture of me from I think the second grade where it was like career day and they were like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I came dressed up as a basketball player. I had like my basketball shorts and my jersey. I'm pretty sure my jersey was a Toon Squad jersey from from Space Jam. And so I have a picture of me just like with the basketball in my hand, like kneeling on one knee. It says like Ryley, occupation, basketball player, and then it's like I drew like pictures of basketballs and the Rockets logo and all that stuff. And I had my little Jordans and stuff on and everything.
you love Space Jam.
I do.
Hey, did you guys see those really cool Danger Girl statues that Sideshow's getting ready to put out?
I saw that. I didn't actually get to look at them, but I immediately thought of Raleigh Smith. He loves Danger Girl.
I've never read that before. At least I don't remember.
It's a fun, just cheesecakey kind of book. It's cool. It's J. Scott Campbell doing what J. Scott Campbell got famous for.
Yeah.
But they look really nice next to Justice J. Scott Campbell's MJ.
Oh yeah.
And Gwen Stacy.
Oh,
these right here. Whoop.
I have a basketball related story also from when I was a kid. So actually, no, this is not from when I was a kid. Okay, so my mom, I think I've mentioned this before, but my mom does makeup and stuff for like people, you know, movie stars, actors, sports people to go on TV whenever they come through Houston. And so she works all the big events and whatnot. And she had worked with Charles Barkley way back in the day, back when Barkley was like part of the Rockets. And she worked with him a little bit more recently, like earlier this year or late last year. And she calls me and she's like, hey, Ryley, I was just working with Charles Barkley. And I was like, oh, cool. How's Charles? Say what's up. And she goes, yeah, weirdest thing happened. He saw me and he goes, hey, Cynthia, how you doing? How's little Ryley? And I'm like, what the fuck? I haven't worked with you in like 20 years.
Wow.
So for some reason, Charles Barkley knew who I was and remembered me. And I can't remember a comic that I read last week. Also, hell yeah, Barkley did fight Godzilla one-on-one.
He did. Yeah, that's an awesome comic book.
That's a great comic.
Like Godzilla is like shooting his electric blast or whatever, and Charles Barkley's blocking it with a basketball.
I just like the one panel and then Godzilla got busy. He's like doing a layup.
See, they need to make that into a movie.
Yeah, I mean, there was the commercial and there was the comic, but the obvious thing to do would be to go to the Space Jam route. You do a commercial and you do a movie. What the hell? Oh, and also basketball related. You know what game I played recently? Shaq Fu.
Oh, I thought you were going to say NBA Jam.
That too, but Shaq Fu. NBA Jam, NBA Hang Time. Both of those. And
he's on fire.
Yes, and you can play as the mascots and shit.
Yep. You put in the code so you have really big heads.
Yes.
I remember those games.
I actually played a little bit of one-on-one with my dad when I was in Houston for my birthday. It was fun.
One-on-one video gaming?
Yeah, I was the Chicago Bulls and he was the Rockets. And it's funny because they didn't have the rights to use Michael Jordan in that game. So I was like Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen.
No, how could you not have Michael Jordan? Was he extra?
Had his own video game.
Oh. I'm coming off my do-bomb high, so I need to reload here.
Oh, man. Don't put it down, Jess. Put it down.
Shotgun bombs.
I'm going to slip into a coma here if I don't jack myself up.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think one day I had 5 dew bombs in like the first few hours of work, and then I just, after lunch, I crashed. Super hard.
I believe it. I was coming down from those.
I think Gio is discovering the Godzilla versus Barkley comic.
Oh, for the first time?
Oh, he's in for a treat, dude.
He said, oh my lord, why does Godzilla need tennis shoes? Who made the shoes? Don't they say the size? They're like, it's a size 200 or something. I read that Godzilla comic, I think early this year or late last year, as part of a short, like, or a brief Godzilla readathon that I did, where I read through a bunch of classic Godzilla comics, and it was definitely a highlight.
See, comic books need to be more ridiculous like that. People are taking comic books way too serious. They need more ridiculous nonsense.
Well, speaking of ridiculous nonsense in comic books, how about the 1969 Power Rangers team that they're about to introduce?
What's that about?
It's the current ongoing Power Rangers book in issue 20, which is coming up in a few months. They're going to introduce that there was a team back in the late 60s. And it's consisting of like an astronaut and like a Russian dude and some other stuff. I don't remember all of the members. I'll have to look up the article, but it looks pretty damn cool. And that's the kind of ridiculous comic shit that I'm down with.
It's pretty cool to see the Power Rangers kind of coming back.
Yeah. Did they officially say that they're going to make a second movie?
Not that I'm aware of. I haven't seen the first one yet. I don't have that much of an attachment to Power Rangers like some of you guys do.
That's too bad. Okay, so the Power Rangers are Igor, a 21-year-old male Soviet KGB agent, Jamie, a 24-year-old female British singer/songwriter, Torona, a 21-year-old male war veteran, Daniel, an 18-year-old male student/protester, and Grace, a 21-year-old female head secretary at NASA and wannabe astronaut.
And those are your Power Rangers?
These are the 1969 Power Rangers.
I don't know a thing about Power Rangers. Sorry, dude.
Well, there's a hardcover collection coming out in a few months or so, if you're into that. Or you could buy, because I don't recommend watching the show if you didn't grow up with it, but the comic right now is actually really fun, I think even if you haven't watched the show. So there's 3 trades out, I think, that are pretty cheap on their own if you want to check it out. I'm not 100% positive that you would enjoy it just because of the fact that you didn't enjoy it or you didn't grow up with it.
Right.
But I think it's a pretty fun series. It's not the best series ever, but it's pretty fun.
They also did a Power Rangers versus the Justice League as well just recently too.
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yep. And it was pretty popular. Like, I know it's sold out in a lot of places pretty quick.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Gio asked if I would recommend the hardcover for Ranger Noobs. I wouldn't recommend the hardcover because it's like a $75 volume. And even if it was discounted to half off, it's still pretty expensive for what I think is going to contain roughly 14 or 15 issues worth of material. So I wouldn't openly recommend that one to newcomers. That's why when I was saying to Jess, I would recommend grabbing like the trade paperback, because then it's not quite the investment.
I value your winning streak too much to risk it on a Power Rangers comic. Also,
it's written by Kyle Higgins, who wrote the New 52 Nightwing series. So I don't know if you read that.
I did not.
Did? Okay. Well, if anyone did read that, that might give you an idea for like the kind of the way that it's written. It's pretty fun. It's some fun stuff. It's not like I said, not the best series that's ever happened, but for fans of the Power Rangers, it's really cool because it modernizes them and starts to give them their own lore. It gives them in the series that we had on TV back when we were all kids. It was very, very flimsy. It was very thin with very little plot. It was just like, oh, there's a bad lady and she makes monsters and the Power Rangers fight them. But this seems to be going into a deeper plot and trying to connect a bunch of the different Power Rangers teams. And it looks like, they're introducing, of course, a new thing. They're introducing the new team and deepening their existence and their past and all that stuff. So pretty interesting. I think it's a pretty interesting look at the way to look at the series.
Or even if you are a fan of Power Rangers, I know that it does a really good job of kind of expanding on the Green Ranger being evil for a lot longer than he was in the show, and explaining that and kind of launching off of that idea too, which is kind of neat. And then Jason David Frank almost got murdered at a comic book convention.
Oh yeah, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah, that was just mentioned a little earlier in the chat, and I remember seeing that too. I remembered something.
But now conventions are boosting up their security a little bit more because of that, which is good.
So there's one question that Henke has been asking a couple times, was what Image comic series do you think are close to being finished, except for Invincible? And then also, I think he asked earlier, what's our favorite finished Image comic series? So that was a couple good questions, since we haven't talked a lot of comics for a little while.
My favorite finished Image series.
I'm about to say Chew right off the top of my head right now. Chew's probably like one of the best comic books just in general that's came out in the last decade.
Yeah, I haven't read it yet. Now I was waiting for the third smorgasbord to come out.
Oh, you're doing yourself a little bit of a disservice not reading that already, Just.
I did read the first trade paperback to make sure I'd like it, and I did like it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I thought you just were completely oblivious to the series.
No, I do know the concept, yeah.
What else is there that's cool? I wish they would end Walking Dead. I'll tell you that much. I think that series kind of drawn itself out like years ago. It's kind of drawn itself out.
I feel like I saw him mention somewhere plans to go to issue 300.
Jesus.
And what are they doing with Saga? Are they going to issue 60 or something with Saga?
I've heard that one's going much longer than 60, but I don't know exactly how long it is to go.
Best Brubaker crime stuff? Criminal. I'm reading it right now.
I still haven't read Criminal.
Oh my God! For that Brubaker episode that's coming up in December, I'm reading Brubaker. I'm reading Criminal right now, as a matter of fact. I just got done with Incognito. I read Velvet, which was really good. I don't want to give away everything, but yeah, I think Brubaker's Criminal is awesome for crime stuff.
I'm extremely enjoying Kill or Be Killed, and I know I've talked about it on the show before, but seriously, it's so good. I think the first trade is $10 as per most first Image books. It's totally worth a look. I really enjoy it quite a bit.
Yeah, some other really good Image books. What was I going to say?
Oh yeah, Lazarus is a great Image book. I don't know when that's going to finish.
I think that's going to be ongoing for a little bit, maybe.
Yeah.
Fade Out. Fade Out's a completed series, I believe, right?
Yeah, that was great.
One of my favorites is Orkstain, which hasn't came out in probably like 5 years. But that's a great book by James Stelco about a society of orcs and just kind of like the way they live their lives. And Stelco's fantastic about world building and beautiful art and stuff like that. So Orkstain's great. So many Image books just run into the same problem of just kind of just falling off and disappearing.
Oh, Revival just finished. That's a good book.
That's a good one.
The fourth one just came out. That's a great series.
Is Manhattan Projects over, or is that just kind of just like flopping in the wind?
Kind of. It's on like he finished the first series, which is like 25 issues, and it's supposed to go for a total of like 50 issues, because you know how like meticulous that Hickman is about like that kind of thing. And he has, let me get the book real quick, because on the cover of the hardcovers he has an image of these bombs, and there's 5 of them. And Mitch from the group messaged him one time and asked him, like, do those 5 bombs mean there's going to be 5 books? And he confirmed, like, yeah, I'm planning on there being 5 of those hardcovers. These both collect 10 issues each. A third hardcover would collect the last 5 issues of the first series, and then 5 issues of, like, I forget what the miniseries is being called.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some weird title to it, but and then it's just going to continue after that. So it is kind of on hiatus right now. I don't know anything about when it might start up. There might be some news out there that I just haven't seen.
I haven't heard anything about Hickman doing anything. There's so many of his series that he's, other than East to West, just I think that's the only book that he's actively participating in right now, it feels like.
Yeah, he's it does seem like he's kind of taken a little bit of a back seat at the moment, which is weird, because I think when he left Marvel, he mentioned it was because he wanted to put his Image creator-owned work at the forefront, but now he's kind of taking a break on that. But I mean, that's fine. Whatever he needs to do, I'm fine with him taking time. I'd love to see him come back to doing mainstream.
Godland's another one I have on my shelf that I absolutely love from Image.
I haven't read that one before.
I couldn't get into that for some reason. I wanted to like it.
It's fun. Prophet's another one that's done.
Oh yeah, that's done. That is done.
It's done. Yeah, like the last one was the Prophet World War or Prophet War or something. So it's like 4 or 5 trades out right now, and they're all pretty cheap. It's great sci-fi, just craziness from Brandon Graham. And I'm hoping for a hardcover to come out because I'll definitely trade up or upgrade if the hardcover comes out.
I think he mentioned what's his name?
Brandon Graham.
Yeah, Brandon Graham was asked about it, and he mentioned that the plans are for a hardcover, which would be awesome.
Yeah, that's just it. I really loved Prophet. Like that was a '90s series that Rob Liefeld put out for Image, and I thought it was cool. Stephen Platt was doing the art on it, so it looked great. But it was just kind of weird, wonky sci-fi stuff. But they brought it back, and Brandon Graham just totally flipped the script and revamped the character and the universe and the whole idea, and made it new other than the name of the title. So it's really just came out of nowhere and just became a fantastic title.
I've read.
Really nobody talks about that book. It's kind of unrecognized.
I've read about half of it because back when it first came out, it got a lot of traction. Like a lot of people were really, really into it. And then it just kind of started fading off. And like you said, like no one really talks about it anymore. And it's kind of disappointing because it was, from the stuff that I read, it was a really, really fucking good series. And I have it on my computer. I just don't have it physically. So I can read it one day, like in its entirety. But if it comes out with a hardcover, I'll jump on it immediately. If not, just for the artwork alone, like what all? Because I'm sure Graham did some of the artwork, but I know that he had Milo Giannis did some of it.
Yep.
And
James Coco did a little bit. Brandon Graham did some himself. Simon Roy did some.
Yeah, Simon Roy. That's who I was trying to think of.
But that's one of those series where, you know, like we were saying, nobody talked about it after a while because it became almost like Chew, where everybody knew it was great. So you didn't have to really mention it month after month after month. It was just steadily just a fantastic book. And that kind of did itself a disservice because, you know, when nobody talks about it, you know, there's a bear shit in the woods and nobody's there to see it kind of thing.
Yeah. Is it still good if no one's... Is it still a good series if no one's still talking about how good of a series it is?
Exactly. Like if there's, you know, tree falls in the woods and nobody sees it, doesn't make a noise kind of thing.
I like the first version better.
But yeah, I mean, it was so good that I think it was a little bit of a detriment to itself because people just stopped talking about it because then you would just sound redundant every month talking about, oh yeah, it's really great. It's really great. It's, you know, I've listened to podcasting, but yeah, Prophet came out and it was great again, and that was it.
Yeah. That's funny. I know the guys are talking about Black Hammer a lot, and I think, Jess, you read Black Hammer, didn't you?
I did, yeah. I read it last week.
And Gabe, have you been able to check that series out?
I have no idea what Black Hammer is.
I
mean, I know who Black MC Hammer is, but I don't know who Black Hammer is.
No relation, unfortunately.
Damn.
I have a funny MC Hammer thing that no one else is going to think is funny, but I do. But anyway, no relation between the two. Black Hammer is a series published by Dark Horse, written by Jeff Lemire with artwork by Dean Ormstrom, which is basically just kind of Lemire's version of using these like classic superhero tropes. And he's got all these different characters that really match up with the ideas and the archetypes of different superhero characters that you're familiar with from both the main DC and Marvel universes. It feels to me, like the setting that he gives it is very similar to the way he wrote Smallville. Except he expands it to be more than just Smallville and using all these different characters that seem to be analogs for, like, you know, there's one that's like the Martian Manhunter, obviously. There's stuff like, you know, Superman and like other characters. There's one that's kind of like a Thor type character, and it's very, very, very freaking good.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds it to me. It feels like if Jeff Lemire had decided to write his own version of Watchmen, but fuse it with some of the sensibilities of Planetary, in how Planetary acknowledges the entire existence and history of mainstream superhero comics, then this is what you get.
That's cool. No, I'm gonna have to check that out. Like, how is it collected, if anything? Yet?
Right now, there's one paperback.
Okay.
And I would recommend jumping in on it soon. I'm sure there's going to be a hardcover later, but I recommend jumping in now because you're at the ground floor. The series is just around 10 issues right now, but they're expanding it, and it's going to be another franchise now for Dark Horse, and they're going to introduce some more books in the same universe using new characters and stuff. So one of the gentlemen in our chat room says it's becoming the next Hellboy, in, you know, similar to how Hellboy spanned, you know, it spawned off spin-offs like BPRD and Lobster Johnson and Abe, Abe Sapien and stuff like that.
Hey, I'll be right back. Hold on.
Let's talk about Gabe now.
I gotta pee.
Oh, thank you. I thought in Black Hammer that the little girl, the woman trapped in the little girl's body, struck me as a little bit like a Grant Morrison-esque kind of character for some reason. She seemed like that kind of that's the kind of thing Grant Morrison would write, and then the rest of it's had a little bit of a Kirby-esque feel to it, and then there is EC Comics reference in there, you know, a blatant EC Comics homage in there.
There's I don't know if it's in the trade paperback because I've been reading the singles, but there's also a scene where it's like a clear analog of Galactus showing up.
Oh,
just straight out of a Kirby comic. But
oh gosh, I don't think I remember that.
That might. Now you're the one that's not remembering stuff.
Well, it could be because it's not in the first trade.
It very well might not be. It might not be there at all. But when you read it, you'll know exactly what I mean.
Yeah.
But it's fantastic, and I think the little girl character that you're talking about reminds me of the boy from Umbrella Academy. That's what I thought about.
Okay.
Like, it's such a great series, and I'm really happy to see more and more people reading it and more people enjoying it, and I hope that it continues to get that traction, because I think that while Jeff Lemire is one of the big names in comics now, he's kind of been stagnating a little bit, and it's good to see his name attached to something that looks like it's going to become possibly a tentpole for Dark Horse. So that's awesome.
I didn't know that they had such big plans for it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they were going to do that either until the news came out. I had no idea.
I can tell you, this is how good the series is. I was super disappointed to finish it because I couldn't follow it up with another volume. I was just like, oh my God, I got to wait till January or whatever to read the next trade of this. So that's how good it was. I was like left hanging and really wanting to read more of it.
That's it's a gift and a curse, man.
Yeah.
My MC Hammer story, just real quick, before we wrap this up pretty quickly. My wife already asked, or Megan already asked about when we're going to be done. But
okay.
So at work, whenever we're, you know, most of my work is back end stuff. Like we're sitting there doing accounting and whatnot, and like keeping up with vehicle maintenance and stuff. It's actual managerial work. And we were sitting on 0 vehicles on my lot, except for A, my boss's car, and B, a 15-passenger van that we were using simply as a just transit to take people as a shuttle. And so on our books, you can see these vehicles, and they're always tagged. You can make a little tag, like a little note that says like where the vehicle is, if it needs maintenance, whatever it is. And so I was in the system and I was fucking around, and I labeled the 2 cars that we had, because people would keep calling and asking if other locations had cars. So people wouldn't ask me. I labeled the first one as "you can't" and the second one as "touch this." So every time people would call, and they'd be like, "You got anything?" I'd be like, "Look at my books, dude." And then they'd see it says "you can't touch this." There's my hammer joke.
That was a good one. It made me laugh, and that was a sincere laugh.
I'm glad.
Not one of my usual fake ones that I do.
Just as pity laughs that he always gives me.
Not even, dude. You're genuinely funny. You crack me up.
Do you, Ryley, do you remember the MC Hammer cartoon series?
I remember it existing, but I don't think I ever actually watched it.
Yeah, he had talking shoes.
Talking shoes that he wore?
When I was a kid in school, you know, unfortunately, there were some poor kids in school whose shoes were falling apart. So, like, the soles from the top of the shoes are coming off. And we used to tell them that they had MC Hammer shoes because it looked like they were talking.
I would, if that was me, I would feel a little bit better about my shoes. I'd be like, fuck yeah, they're magic shoes, dude.
Give me the ability to dance. That was back in the day when MC Hammer had a TV show. Macaulay Culkin had a TV show. Or a cartoon series.
Which was that?
Macaulay Culkin had a cartoon series?
Yeah, it was called a Wish Kid. It was about a kid who
had
a baseball glove, and a falling star fell into the baseball glove. So every time he kind of did this, and he was able to make a wish. And so it's almost like it's kind of like how Fairly Odd Parents is today, but way, way shittier and way, way 80s.
I remember liking Fairly Odd Parents.
Those quality cartoons.
It is. That's a great show.
Well, I think, unfortunately, I have to wrap things up here because Megan asked me about when I was going to be done, and that's usually the sign. Unfortunately, because time has flown by, and we've had a really fun time on this no topic night.
I like to think of it more as all the topics night.
Yeah, the topic being fidget spinners and other shitty, confusing toys.
What is shit now? Somebody's yelling at me. Jess, it is shit now.
Jess, it is shit now. Shit now.
What's shit now?
Shit now.
What? Oh, Fairy Odd Parents is not good anymore? Oh, that's too bad.
I think they got rid of Timmy and they have someone else.
Oh.
What? No, they can't do that. That's bullshit.
Well, they did it.
Well, I know the show kind of got to that point where they just kept adding more and more characters, like a baby sister and like a dog and shit like that.
Now it's shit.
Shit now.
But at least we didn't forget.
I thought you were telling me to go take a dump or something. Like
I didn't know. I didn't. Yeah, I was wondering what the reference was.
Yes, go take a dump. Like you could see it.
Holy smoke! We started out that way, and now we're ending that way.
With poop jokes?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's it. We've come full circle.
Nice.
Ryley never forgot. Okay, well, Anyway, anything else? Any last thoughts before we disperse?
Go read Crossed. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to Justice's YouTube channel.
Woohoo!
Unsubscribe to my YouTube channel. Please don't, though, because I might come back one day, and it would be really sad if I'm like, where'd everyone go?
Yeah, you had a lot of subscribers. I was just looking at your old shows. You
I
didn't have
had
quite a number.
my early collection videos, which, I mean, the only reason I ever do collection videos is because people they'll ask. They're like, hey, can you do a collection video?
Yeah.
On one of my really old ones, someone commented today, you're just showing off your collection. And I'm like, very observant.
Well, that's the thing. I've had my channel for, seriously on my channel for a couple months. And I didn't know, I guess it's kind of an unwritten rule that you're supposed to do a collection video first.
You are?
Yeah, well, I found out because someone told you that, Jess. And I was like, oh, I guess I need to do one myself.
Oh, they did? I forgot that.
Yeah, so I did.
I knew that people have always asked me to, but I didn't know you were supposed to do it first.
Yeah, apparently that's like the unwritten YouTube comic book channel rule.
Oh.
You gotta do a video tour first or something.
Well, I didn't even do that. I've broken it into chunks. I just shown 2 parts of my collection. I don't want to give all the content away, right in the first week.
Yeah, I had to break mine up into 2 also. I should have broke it up into 3, but that's too much work. But between the 2 videos, it's like an hour for me to talk about my collection.
But that's one thing that I was told as well. I think whenever I was first starting up my channel, because I was in a YouTube group and I was getting some pointers because I was asking what do I need to do? What videos should I do? And people were like, usually one of the first videos is a collection tour. And I did that. And that first collection tour, even though it was in my shitty first apartment where I had barely anything and my books were just stacked and you couldn't even see them, got so many views. So I don't know who shared it where, but it was ridiculous. And then after that, I just did my regular things until I got lazy.
Didn't it get 20,000 views or something?
Oh, dude, it's ridiculous. I think it's more than that.
Wow.
It's a ridiculous amount of views compared to anything else I've ever done.
Yeah.
Which is always really disheartening because I'll do a video and I'll be like, I'll probably get a couple hundred views. And then I just don't do anything. The days of beardless.
I was doing my videos at first, and I was getting some good views and stuff, and I just kind of fell off because I got busy with life. And I remember, Ryley, you told me, hey, are you going to do another Nick box unboxing? And then that just started me up all over again. But every time I do a haul video, I get outrageous amount of views. It's always 1,000+ views. Which is kind of whatever. People, but 1,000's a lot to me.
Yeah, I think so too. People do like to see hauls.
And it's funny because they're usually the easiest videos to make because you're just sitting there I got a thing.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I want to do videos where it's oh, hey, this is beneficial to you, the viewer. Here's, a review of a book, or here's the contents of the book, or here's whatever. But basically, I go, look what I spent money on. I spent money on this. And people are like, this is the greatest thing ever. You're awesome. And thanks for showing us your collection and stuff like that. So that's amazing. I appreciate everybody that's out there, watching my videos and watching this whole Omnibros network that we have going on.
Right.
It's cool.
I have a hard time explaining haul videos to people when they say, "What are you doing now with your free time?" I go, "Well, I've got a YouTube channel, and I show hauls and stuff and unboxings." And they're like, "What? Hauls? Unboxings? What do you mean?" I show what I bought, and they're like, "People are interested in that?" I said, "Yeah, people are interested in that. I unbox a statue, and I get 800 views."
I always feel kind of I don't know, I'm full of myself when I make videos of hauls, especially when it's not anything original or special. If it's just oh, this is just a haul of all the new stuff that came out this month, everyone pretty much gets the same things. And I might have one book, like, you know, the time that I got Too Much Coffee Man, like that's the one book that not a lot of people got. And, or like, you know, not everyone got Fool Killer, but like everything else is basically like, oh, everyone got this, everyone got that. And I always feel kind of dumb. Like I'm just trying to, cause I'm not trying to show off or anything. I'm just like, that's what I got. But I would rather make more videos that have more interesting hauls. And so I try to always have a little bit more of an interesting haul. And so like, for instance, the next box I get will have, you know, 10 volumes of Slam Dunk, which I'm excited about because I haven't read that series before. And it's not something that I see people talk about a lot, except in like, as a retrospective, saying like, man, that was a great series. So that would be something that I would be more interested in making a video of. But as I've mentioned ad nauseum at this point, like I'm so lazy and so busy that I never even get a chance to sit down and make any videos. And one of the things, and I'll just, you know, lay these factoids out there. I really wish that, because I tried to hook my camera up, my good camera, to the computer to stream, and it didn't work because I found out that my model of my camera happens to be one of the few that for some reason cannot just do live streaming, which is really fucking dumb and pisses me off because it's a good camera. It's a high quality camera. And if it did, then I would just do high quality live streaming videos like all the time. So now I have to look into maybe investing in a different, like an HD webcam or something, and use that. And if I could get that going, then I would totally make quick videos where I'll forgo any sort of editing and just upload it straight to YouTube. But as long as the sound and video quality is good, I'll just sit there and be like, you know, give good updates on what I'm reading during the times that I actually read stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just my issue. But at the same time, I'm too, I guess I can just say selfish. And I spend all my money on myself and the books that I want to buy instead of investing it into something like a camera.
So what I'm hearing is we need to set up a Patreon so we can get people to not a Patreon. How about like a GoFundMe? I'll make t-shirts, Omnibro t-shirts.
Dude, we talked about t-shirts before. We just need to figure out a good design and a good like a good way to print them and stuff. Get them made. Not only
I have a t-shirt connection, Ryley. I have a t-shirt connection. My wife's cousin owns a t-shirt printing embroidery company. I'm actually getting some Gabe Infinity Watch t-shirts coming in the mail pretty soon, so you guys will be seeing those.
Oh shit,
that's cool.
So we could do an Omnibros, you know, like GoFundMe where people just give us money for t-shirts. And we can turn around and use that money for better equipment or whatever if we need to, you know, something like that. If people want to wear Omnibros or Gabe Infinity Watch or OmniDog Vaults t-shirts, you know, I get it for everybody, for all of us.
We should make a design, and not only just for our show, but for the group as well.
Yeah.
Because the
Facebook group? Like,
yeah, the Facebook group. I don't like calling it my group because it's not. It's our group. The group, the Omnibus group, because it's a community that means something to a lot of people, and it's a way to express that you belong to that community. And I think people have been wanting T-shirts for the OC group for a while, and it'd be really dope if we could actually get a cool design and put it together. And I know I talked to Lewis before about using the font that he had, and he said that he would. The only problem is you have to buy the rights to use that font. So we'll have to find either a way to do it illegally, or find another design that we could use.
If somebody wants to make a design and send it to us, and we all like it, I would give that person a free shirt, free hoodie, free hat, whatever we make. That person will get one free of everything.
That'd be cool if we had a hoodie.
I could legit get all that stuff made. no problem. Like I said, my wife's family has a business that does that stuff. So
There's also a website. I forget. There's a ton of websites that do these kind of things, obviously. But like, you can just make designs and then throw it out there, and then be like, you can put it on a shirt, you can put it on a hoodie, you can put it on a pillow, you can put it on a cup, whatever, and then people just order that design on that item for however much, and you choose how much profit you want. So like, you can make it extremely cheap where like you don't profit but a tiny bit, or you make it a little more expensive. So but you don't wind up, it's like the company does all the work. So I'm thinking that if we went your route though, we would be able to make more and have it cost less, because we're going straight to the manufacturer instead of uploading it to a website who's going to take their own piece of it.
the only thing we would have to worry about is just the shipping, which is nothing. You put those T-shirts in a bag, those shipping bags, and that's really it. But yeah, I mean, if you guys are down to do it, let's get that started. So, Ryley can get a better camera, and everybody else can get better equipment, or not even that. I mean, just so that the people in the group and the viewers and everybody that we have can be a part and have something to show of their appreciation for the shows and our appreciation to them, and everybody can have that one thing that shows they're a part of the group, which would be great.
Yeah, I think you could sell T-shirts for the Facebook group. I think people would really be excited for that if we came up with a really bitchin' design. I mean, you could design quite easily, I think, your own font. Just take, some of the serifs off or something, or add serifs or whatever. You can do all kinds of things with fonts and just invent your own.
We can force Lewis to make something.
Yeah.
Banners that we've had over time on the Facebook group, I don't know if we could just use those as...
Lewis made this mask for me.
Yeah.
At like 5 minutes to 8 from the original show.
I'm sure over time we can get different designs and different like fun little things, like be like, I was about to say something about whale hunters, but then I feel like that could be misconstrued.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like you're an actual whale hunter and it's bad because whales are endangered. And you'd be like, no, I swear it's books. It's books.
No, that'd be fun. Let's see how that goes.
This is gonna be a continuing conversation.
But we're actually gonna make it happen.
Somebody said this would make a great t-shirt, and I like that idea a lot.
Yeah, I think, and then someone has to go to a con that he's at and get a picture with Greg Land, and both be doing like thumbs ups together.
We need to get a Codpiece Thor shirt and send that to Luis so you can get that review started.
That's why Luis wasn't on tonight. He still hasn't finished Codpiece Thor.
He's embarrassed.
Oh, that rat bastard.
He's not holding up his ends of the deals.
No. Man.
Jay Lewis is Omnibro Rompers. I'm in.
Rompers.
You can have a shirt of me just like, I forgot.
Yeah, that could be me too, since I forget so much. I don't know what's in my library.
You can have Jess the Plonker t-shirt.
He plonked again.
Bought it twice, plonked again. It's a well for ideas. I think we'll have to set up something to get all the ideas together, and we'll make designs. But man, this was supposed to end like 30 minutes ago, and I totally made this go a lot longer. But also on that note, because I was about to say like we can take polls and get ideas and all that and assemble it all. At the same note, though, I also have the other poll, the secret ballot for DC books. If you haven't voted, if you don't know about it, quick rundown. Go to my website, theomnibuscollector.com. The last couple of things I posted are going to be about the DC Omnibus secret ballot. Basically, I'm just holding a vote similar to the Marvel Omnibus secret ballot, where we're going to vote, have everyone vote for their top 10 most wanted DC Omnibus. All the rules and stuff are listed. There's an email that you can submit your votes for. The voting is going to close on the 15th. So on Saturday, I think just the end of the day, I'm going to close that out. And I'm going to start gathering all the votes and stuff over the weekend. And then hopefully throughout the week, I'm going to drop all of the top most wanted ones and do little articles similar to what Peter over at Crushing Crisis does every time they do the Marvel one. So that's going to be a project that's going to require me not being lazy. So hopefully I can stick to it. And but I will be counting those votes. Go onto the website. Again, it's theomnibuscollector.com and look at the last 2 things I posted. And you'll find the, I think it's DC Secret Ballot at Gmail, but you'll find the link so you can submit your ideas.
Cool. Yeah, right.
But with that, what's up?
With it being we're halfway through the year, I am still keeping track of every collect edition that is released so that we can have a probably more thorough Omni Awards at the end of the year.
Oh, okay, good.
So I got a Google Drive file where I've just been keeping track of everything that comes out. So at the end of the year, we'll be able to do the Omnibro or the Omnis again, but this time, because last year people were like, well, I don't know what came out. I forgot what came out and things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm a comprehensive list so that everybody can check that out and we can have a real fun episode of what came out. And I'm sure everybody will just vote for Hickman's Avengers anyways.
Well, yeah, that's going to be a really, really good idea. It'll make this year a lot more legit with like legitimate votes. Because last year it was a lot of people just, like you said, didn't really know what they wanted to vote for, and they started. Some people made books that were from previous years.
Right.
Some books didn't even get remembered, so they didn't get voted for. So that's a really good thing to be working on.
Or a lot of the ones that people mentioned were like newer books that just came out, so they were still fresh in everybody's memory. I know Klaus got like a lot of like votes and stuff like that, and that just barely came out at the time too. Not that Klaus wasn't a great book or anything, but it just was a lot. It was in the front of everybody's memory at that time too.
But anyway, I'm gonna start wrapping this up before my wife pops in again.
Second,
you guys, Gabe, where can they find you?
All right, everybody can find me here on YouTube as well. Gabe Infinity Watch. Like we talked about before, haul videos. I'll be doing some Omnibus spotlights with my new Lazy Susan. You can hit me up on Instagram as well, where if you want to see what I'm getting kind of up to date, I always take photos of new books I get right away and put them on my Instagram as well. My Instagram is also Gabe Infinity Watch. So check me out there, hit me up. And again, just thanks to everybody. Everybody's super awesome. I think we got the greatest fan base out there who take the time to watch our videos and watch these live streams.
Well said. Jess, what about yourself? Where can they find you? And what kind words do you have to say?
First of all, Ryan Sace is still a bastard.
It was his birthday recently.
Yeah. Happy birthday,
Ryan. Love you, buddy.
bastard. Tyler Chu makes great cookies, so I wanted to throw that out there. I got a big batch of different kinds of cookies from him, so now I am officially the sugar daddy. You can catch me on YouTube at OmniDog's Vault is my YouTube channel. And I didn't get a Lazy Susan. I got a regular old iPhone holder where I will be doing overviews also. Gabe and I are going to pick up the slack that got left when Luis and Ryley decided they couldn't do overviews anymore. So I do stuff on the YouTube, and then I'm also a mod on Ryleymo's Omnibus, the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swap and Community page thing. Ish.
Seems like everybody wants us to do a new one more do bomb before the end of the show.
Okay.
I poured a rather large one.
Oh man,
that one right here. Okay.
Beers in me, so might as well. Cheers, everybody, to the chat.
Woo-hoo.
To the chat.
The t-shirts.
Nice. Whoa. Now throw the glass across the room.
I'm not sleeping.
I'll be like Thor, give me another, and just smash it on the room.
Yeah.
Another. All right, everybody. And for me, you can find me on the group that Jess struggled to mention. You can find me on this YouTube channel. You can find my website, theomnibuscollector.com, where you can vote for your upcoming most wanted, or your most wanted, no upcoming, because they're not actually upcoming, DC omnibuses. And eventually, we'll have some sort of poll or voting or suggestion box for t-shirts, as we will be organizing and talking about this consistently for probably the next week or so until we do something. So again, thank you so much, everyone, for watching this show that has no point and no topic this week. And we just made fun of ourselves, and I made some self-deprecating humor, which is my specialty. Thank you for tuning in for us pumping horrible, horrible liquids into our bodies. And we will see you all on video hopefully next week around the same time. If not, we'll catch you on the internet in between. So good night, everybody, and see you later.
Peace and
Bye.
love. Peace and love.
Bye.